Immigration reform has been agonizing this year, but there are two congressmen who have not given up, and that is why they were invited here today. We have Luis Gutierrez, representative from Illinois, and Mario Díaz-Balart, representative from Florida. Thank you for being here in the studio. I'm sure you have important things to say, but immigration reform seems dead. And now your party, your leader, your boss, John Boehner, he's at fault. Why? Two things. Two things. We've had good moments and bad moments. And this is a very difficult moment. We have two options. Give up, which we're not willing to do because every day there are between 1,100 and 1,400 deportations. But John Boehner and your party said no. Unfortunately, the same way that the president told you to your face that he would change immigration reform and lied, the Democrats also had an opportunity and couldn't or didn't want to. But that was then, this is now, and the Republicans have the majority. The final decision, if it's going to be presented in the open, it will... But John Boehner said no. No, the leadership did not say no. But he killed it. Well, we continue working. I'm sorry to insist, but that's the truth. John Boehner said he was going to hold it back. Until when? Well, that's what we were thinking, that if it doesn't get done this year, it's going to be much more difficult. If he does not allow legislation to get to the House, then it does rest on his shoulders. In 2014, let's just put aside 2009. In 2014, who's at fault? Of course, it's the House Republicans. At the same time, that's where the solution lies, because where there is blame, there's the solution. That is why I'm with my colleague. One of the things that we need to avoid is partisanship. Democrats versus Republicans. But immigration reform needs to get passed. Look, I have a great friendship with Mario. To be honest, I would not be using my time talking with the community, the immigrant community in Miami, if it was simply for the friendship. How do you get immigration reform? I think the way to get it is 3 days ago, I was with someone in Chicago. While we continue applying pressure and elaborating our plans, we need to talk with Republicans. Is the charge petition an option where the House takes up the project of the Senate? Yes, that's an option, and we should use all of our options. Now, I also want to say that while we work, we need to let people know that I've been to Maryland, Chicago, and here in the last few days, and I'm going to continue traveling. What I'm saying is we have to be consistent and persistent and force the hand of the Republican leader in the House. But John Boehner is not listening. He said no, and you're insisting that he wants to pass immigration reform. I'm not here to defend Republicans, but at the same time, his party 2 months ago was saying, let them self-deport and let 1070 continue doing what it's supposed to. But John Boehner said that there would be no immigration reform. I didn't come here to discuss that with you, but that's what I heard. It's difficult, so welcome to my world. Just as difficult as it is, I think that we can continue talking, but look at the actions of the youth. Do you think John Boehner and the Republicans had a change of heart overnight? No, because the youth were coming and having breakfast, lunch, and dinner with the leadership. And our community has to continue that pressure. So what is the alternative? Well, the debate has changed from whether we're going to deport everyone or not to what is the process of legalization. It has changed from whether there's going to be citizenship or not to how it gets done. Well, this year is not going to be it because the Republicans have apparently made the calculation that they can afford to lose the Latino vote in 2014. We have two alternatives: give up or continue working and pressure. If we give up, it's over. Well, that's fine with me if it's over. But what people want is to be told the truth. And the truth is that you should say, my boss does not want immigration reform. He's not my boss. The people who elect me are my boss. Okay, my leader. He is responsible. That's not fair. Yes, it is. It's in his hands. John Boehner has said he wants to pass it. That's not true. He said it was too difficult and he wasn't going to pass it. He said it's difficult, but he wants to pass it. I'm sorry, that's not true. He said he is not going to do it. Let me repeat what I was saying. John Boehner has said multiple times that he wants to pass this, but we're having a lot of internal struggles in the party, and it would be very difficult to do. Okay, that's what he said. We can surrender and say, perfect, we can dedicate ourselves to something else, or we continue working towards something difficult. We are closer than ever. We are closer than ever. And it has to be done now. No, we're not closer than ever. We've never been farther apart. He said he wouldn't do it, and it was not going to happen. I understand your point of view. But the day I accept your point of view, I should resign from Congress. But John Boehner is responsible. I understand. My position is the future of the debate of immigration reform rests on the shoulders of the majority of Republicans in the House. But we have to continue pressuring and forcing the hand of the leadership. 2 weeks ago, the limit went up to 200 Democrats and 20 Republicans, so it can be done. And we have to continue pressuring the leadership. What can't be allowed is to let this die for lack of effort. We have to double our efforts and apply pressure, because this is going to be a lot more difficult next year than it is now. In effect, if it doesn't happen, the decision will fall on the shoulders of the leadership. We have to do everything possible to pressure the leadership that will allow us to move forward. Pressure. Thank you for being here. I had to ask those questions.